What's the Providence Bowl?
It's the big game at Furrow Field between Rockbridge and Hickman.
The Providence Bowl is a battle in a way. It's Hickman and Rockbridge coming in fighting against each other to see who will win our big rivalry. It's only two high schools as of right now in Columbia, Missouri, and so when we all come together, it's a big chance for all of us to, like, in that final debate for the year, like, who is going to be the greatest this year.
We've been doing it since 2004, and so it's just an annual local rivalry game.
Rockbridge fans crammed into the stands for what many anticipated to be the biggest game of the year. The Providence Bowl is an annual tradition, a night when Columbia's two largest high schools, Rockbridge and Hickman, clash on the football field. Because of the rumors that this year could be the last of the infamous Rockbridge and Hickman pairing, players were more motivated than ever to win. Players from both Rockbridge and Hickman prepared for weeks and weeks, each believing that they would come out on top. Rockbridge had won for the last 4 years and was sure this was going to be its 5th win.
Well, we're going to beat them this time. We're going to beat them. You know why? Because we're better than them. You know what? And losers don't deserve to hang with winners, okay? Greatness doesn't rub off like that. And we are winners. You know what I'm saying?
Both Hickman and Rockbridge were desperate for the win and were playing their hardest. As the battle for victory wore on, the crowd steadily grew more unsure of what the outcome would be.
We drove down to about the 20 or 30-yard line, and with a few seconds left, we had an opportunity to line up and kick a game-winning field goal.
Sophomore kicker Joe Barbie was up. The game was at a standstill. The anticipation struck the stands silent. If Barbie made the field goal, he would win the game for the Bruins. All of a sudden, the Rockbridge fans were on their feet, cheering, thinking the ball had gone in. It was then the realization hit them. The ball hadn't made it in. The game was over. The Cupies had won. Barbie was devastated. He had let his team down on one of the most crucial games of the season.
I looked over and the referees were giving the no good signal. And so that's how the end of the Providence Bowl happened. And it was really disappointing, and it heartbreaking to see Hickman rush the field.
If only they had another chance. Barbie wishes this was the case.
Just to keep my head up and just wait for another opportunity, really.
But Barbie wasn't the only one let down by this game. Head football coach A.J. Ofadale feels that the team can use this loss to their advantage by learning from their mistakes.
You know, disappointed that we lost, obviously. You know, you obviously go in and you evaluate the things that you didn't do right. I felt like we definitely could have played better. I'm sure they felt like they could have played better, too. Both teams did some things good. Both teams made some mistakes.
The Rockbridge Bruins continued on with their season after the upsetting loss, eventually advancing to the district playoffs, which just happened to be against the Hickman Cupies.
It's just a playoff game, you know what I'm saying? It's a playoff game. Like, this game means everything to us because we want to move on, you know what I'm saying?
This is the first time we played Hickman in the playoffs, and it's a chance for revenge. And I think, honestly, winning this game is better than the Providence Bowl because we'll be going further than them in the playoffs, and revenge is pretty sweet. So
I think that the student body is even, like, caring just as much or maybe a little bit more just because we really want to win this time because we didn't win at Providence Bowl. So I think it's, like, more important to, like, show them that we can beat them this time.
Rockbridge believes in redemption. In preparation for the upcoming game, the team has been perfecting the plays that caused the shattering defeat at the Providence Bowl. The team wants to win Friday's game because whether Rockbridge wins or loses will determine where they stand in districts. Rockbridge and Hickman can't both move forward. It has to be one or the other.
It's just not going to be the same. And actually I think there's a lot more riding on this game than there was on the other one. The other one was more bragging rights, but this one's to get into the state tournament.
I think it's redemption, really, because we lost the first time.
I'm sure, like, now they're like, okay, we know what we're coming up against, and we know what they did to beat us last time, so this is what we're going to do to beat them this time. So, I don't know, they're probably coming in with, like, humility and, like, okay, we want to approach this in a different way.
The football players are not taking this second chance for granted and are determined to use this game as a chance to redeem themselves. The game will be hosted at Hickman High School Friday, November 2nd. The team expects to see their fans in the stands cheering them on to a victory. For Bearing News, I'm Brittany Cornelielson.